Alright, hythloday, before this goes any further, I'd like to nip it in the bud. First of all, I like you, I understood. You annoy me as well, but that's mutual. The comment you made, you were trying to make it very civilly, you had some praise in there and stuff, but see, the praise and the criticism, it's not that they were praise or criticism, I don't care, that's not what I'm adding up. I'm adding up the content, the comments on my content. Okay, so when you say, how did you put it? The USSR, blah, blah, blah. Well, here. Okay. They would never blah, blah, blah. How can I say they would never blah, blah, blah? So you objected that I said any sentence that's they would never blah, blah, blah. Why can't I say that sentence? I would be more interested. You could say, you shouldn't have said that was stupid because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I go, well, I think I have a right to say it. And here's what I think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And especially in history, I am open to correction. Kip Beach has corrected me many times on the history, and I incorporate that. This is how I get informed. This is one of the ways I get informed on things, especially things I haven't necessarily studied yet elsewhere. You know, I can be informed by other people with feedback, and then I change. You know, I go, really? And I try to look it up, and I see, and I incorporate that. So what's the problem? There's no reason. There's no problem. I have a pet peeve is all, hythloday, about being told I can't bring up a subject. You know, I mean, there's subjects I don't want to talk about. You think it's too speculative to go, you know, what if in history, and I don't think they would ever have done blah, blah, blah. What if this case? Well, then, I mean, it's like, okay, you don't like what if stories about history. Don't take part in them. They're too speculative. So I don't like to argue baseball or whether Batman's stronger than Superman, but I understand why other people do. I don't say, shouldn't even raise that question. If I did, I would say, because here's why it's so stupid, you'll wish you hadn't raised it on the content of the subject. But that's fine. Talk about whatever you want. I'm trying to explain to you my pet peeve that makes me short with you. When you make a comment like that, I would react better. You don't have to do it. I'm just telling you what I would react better to. If you told me why you thought I was wrong to say the USSR, that Russia would not have become one of the two dominant nuclear superpowers for 50 years if, you know, the Tsar had remained in control. I could be wrong on that, so say why I'm wrong. That's the issue. Don't tell me I couldn't raise the subject, and this probably isn't even what you mean to be saying, which is why I'm saying this is a pet peeve of me. You could call this a flaw of mine, but it is a way that I am. I like what I consider content. Views about me, well, that doesn't affect the subject. Whether you agree or disagree with me has no effect on whether or not Russia would have become a global superpower under the Tsar. Just doesn't. So I'm not as interested in it. I tell you, because I think you have an opinion of the kind that I am interested in. Like, I think you have an opinion on the USSR here. It's just very hard to get out. You're very coy, and I don't like wasting time. I'd rather just be blunt. And then you are like, well, don't tell me what to say. I'm not telling you what to say. I'm telling you I don't appreciate what you are saying. You have things to say that I would appreciate, so could you just get to those when we're in my threads, maybe? I'm not saying you can't also say your criticisms about how egotistical and arrogant I am to even raise the question and stuff. I would totally not mind that, probably not even mention or complain about it, if it, as well, you went straight to, no, the Tsar would have conquered Europe and been the biggest superpower ever. Whatever. Just say it. That's what I'm asking. On the other hand, let's not let it get out of hand, okay? I still want to have our conversation next month. Or is it this month now? And, you know, a lot of this, to me, I understand you better now, and this is just the sensitivities. The main thing now is make these as short as possible until we figure out an accommodation. Okay. because it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop annoying me when I'm told some subject is off limits. That I'm egotistical to even think that I can bring up a subject. It doesn't matter whether I'm an expert or total ignoramus on the subject. If I'm going, hey, this is interesting, then it's justified to bring it up in my book. Okay, so you can at least understand that about me. I will add, I often adjust how I talk to somebody based on their sort of intellectual metabolism. I used to think that I totally, chameleoned around in order to accommodate them, and I realized, well, no, because it's hard for me to not cuss, so people that puts them off edge. There's a lot of stuff I don't do, but I do adjust, and I am trying to figure out a way to interact with you where we could just get the flow of information. That's the goal. I said whatever interaction, so that there can be an flow of information, so that when I say the USSR, blah blah, you go, oh, the USSR did that. To me, it's all noise when I go XYZ and people go, how dare you ask that question in thousands of universities and blah blah blah, and they just don't say what they think. I want to get what people think. It's how do you open someone up? So they'll say their opinions. It can be something they learned from someone else, as long as it became actually their opinions. They're not regurgitating. It's not taboos of what you are or are not supposed to talk about. So I am trying to do that, okay? Just stop, try again. Next time I'll have a better way of answering. You go ahead and make this kind of message as your initial message, and I'll try to have a better way of giving you the feedback, the meaning of the feedback that I wish to give.